She got fired. But 10 hours later, 4 military cars showed up at her door. It all started with a cardboard box and the kind of silence that feels like it's pressing against your chest. "I'm sorry, but we have to let you go." Those were the words that echoed in Olivia Thompson's ears as she stood outside the building she had given the last 4 years of her life to. She blinked at the sunlight, blinking harder to keep the tears from falling. It wasn't just the job, it was everything it represented. Security, routine, a place in the world, gone in less than 3 minutes. Can you imagine how that must feel? To walk out of a building you thought would protect you for years, only to realize it never really cared if you stayed? Olivia clutched the box tightly to her chest. It was filled with little pieces of herself. Photos of her nephews, a coffee mug that read, "World's Best Aunt," and a stack of well-worn sticky notes filled with doodles, deadlines, and dreams. She didn't go straight home. She sat in her car in the parking lot for hours, engine off, phone silent. She stared out the windshield, watching as people she used to say good morning to passed her without even noticing. By the time she got back to her modest apartment, the sky was beginning to darken. She placed the box on the counter and stood, for a moment unsure of what to do next. Her savings would last a month, maybe 2 if she skipped dinners. She didn't cry. Not yet. Instead, she walked to her tiny kitchen, opened a can of soup, and turned on the old radio she kept by the stove. Music, her one refuge. A song she loved as a teen played softly, and as the soup bubbled, Olivia allowed herself to just be that. Was when the knock came, 3 firm taps. She glanced at the clock, 10:42 p.m. Another knock, louder this time. She crept to the door, peeking through the curtain. Her breath caught. 4 black military SUVs were parked outside her building, and standing at her door were 2 uniformed men and a woman with silver hair slicked into a tight bun, wearing a navy coat with brass buttons. Her hand trembled as she opened the door. "Miss Olivia Thompson?" the woman asked, her tone calm but official. "Yes? I'm General Marianne Collins with the United States Armed Forces. We need to speak with you. May we come in?" Olivia stepped back instinctively. "Is something wrong? What's this about?" General Collins gave a reassuring nod. "You're not in any trouble. In fact, we're here because of something extraordinary you did. Now take a breath, because what you're about to hear will restore your faith in how even the smallest kindness can ripple across the world." The 3 entered her apartment, their presence making the small space feel even smaller. One of the men placed a sleek black folder on the kitchen table. "We understand you volunteered at a downtown community shelter last winter. Every Friday evening for 3 months?" Collins asked. Olivia blinked, confused. "Yes. I helped serve meals. Sometimes I'd bring warm clothes." "Why?" General Collins opened the folder. Inside were photos, surveillance stills, images of Olivia handing out jackets, laughing with children, crouching beside an old man holding a paper plate. "That man," Collins pointed to one picture, "is Sergeant Miguel Harper, discharged, homeless. At the time he was suffering from untreated PTSD and substance abuse. No one knew where he was, not even his unit. He went off the grid. Until he met you." Olivia felt her heart stutter. "Miguel, I remember him. He used to ask me for extra napkins. Said he used them to write down the noise in his head. I started bringing him notebooks." The general smiled softly. "You didn't just give him notebooks. You gave him dignity, hope, something to hold on to." That connection brought him back from the edge. "Last month he walked into a veteran outreach center in North Carolina and gave them your name. Said he wouldn't be alive if it weren't for you." Olivia sat down slowly, as if her knees might give out. I had no idea." The man standing beside the general spoke for the first time. "Sergeant Harper is alive. He's clean, and he's back with his unit as a counselor for other struggling vets. And he wanted to thank you." From behind his back, he handed Olivia a small package. Inside was a worn leather notebook, the same kind she used to give him. On the first page, In shaky but determined handwriting, it read, "You saved me. I hope this brings you the same light you gave me. MH." Tears welled in Olivia's eyes now, finally free. "There's more," the general continued. "The Department of Defense is launching a new civilian-led initiative to assist displaced veterans. We want you on the leadership team. Full salary, full benefits. A purpose, Miss Thompson, one we believe you were born for." Olivia couldn't speak. She could only nod, overwhelmed. In less than 12 hours, she had gone from forgotten to found, from discarded to deeply valued. It wasn't the job offer that broke her. It was the realization that something she had once thought so small, giving notebooks to a man's society, had left behind, had created a chain reaction of healing, and now she had a chance to do even more. 3 months later, Olivia stood at a podium at Arlington National Cemetery, her voice strong, unwavering. "To anyone listening," she said, "never underestimate what your kindness can do. A warm meal, a single conversation, a simple act of seeing someone when the world looks away, it matters. It may not always come back in the way you expect, but it comes back." Behind her sat rows of military leaders. Beside them, men and women in civilian clothes, former homeless veterans. In the front row, Sergeant Miguel Harper sat proudly, clapping the loudest. "Before you go, can you imagine how different this story could have ended if Olivia hadn't shown up that night at the shelter? There are people all around us right now, waiting for someone like her, someone like you. So don't hold back your kindness. You never know whose life you're about to save." If this story touched you even a little, leave it in the comments and share a time someone changed your life with. A simple act of kindness, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch the next story. It just might restore your faith in humanity.